Hello and welcome to the sideboard here at the StarCityGames.com Open Series in Cleveland, Ohio. I'm Ken Crocker here with Josh Taylor. Josh, how you doing today?
I'm doing okay. Pretty good start, 10-1 so far.
Yeah, well, we just saw on camera you take down a opponent with your Mardu Midrange deck.
I did.
So we don't see a lot of Mardu anymore, but we're not quite sure why because we have this card called Crackling Doom.
Yeah.
That seems like it's pretty good. So tell me how that's been doing for you today, especially in a field full of Esper Dragons.
I played against two Esper Dragon decks yesterday, and I beat them both. And it's weird because I've been playing this deck for a while now, a couple months, and different shells of it, and the blue-black deck was always something that was kind of big. And the matchup was weird in the sense that Crackling Doom was normally a dead card game one, but now the way the deck's designed, they want to tap out and cast their creature. So it's actually something that they're actively trying to avoid is a Crackling Doom, which pins them off their game plan, especially if they know I'm running it. They won't just ram their dragon right out there. So even if I don't have it, they might just hold off a couple more turns before casting it so they could have a counterspell up. So in that sense, it's playing an active role even if you don't have it in a matchup like that, which before it didn't have that role.
Sure, so it reminds a lot of people of when they're using Solidarm Scorn for the mode that makes you pay one extra. They can't play around that. They have to hold up counterspell or their dragons are gonna die, and they only have so many dragons.
Exactly.
We got another spicy one in here. So we have a Mardu Charm. So Mardu Charm hasn't seen a lot of play compared to all the other charms. What is Mardu Charm doing for you here? Is there really a mode you're picking more than anything else, or is it just so flexible in this deck that it's just dominating people?
Mardu Charm is, I want to say, the best card in this deck.
Wow.
All the modes are very good on the card. The modes read, Mardu Charm deals 4 damage to target creature. You can put 2 1/1 warrior tokens onto the battlefield and they gain first strike until end of turn. And target opponent reveals his or her hand and you choose a non-creature, non-land card, so essentially duress.
So what are we doing the 4 damage to? What kind of decks are we doing that against?
Mid-range red decks, red-green decks, Dragon's Thunderbreak Regent, Abzin Aggro, Anafenza, anything like that. It kills 3 power creatures. There's just, outside of Siege Rhino and Tasigur, it pretty much can kill everything else.
Sure.
Obviously there's Ojutai with Hexproof who doesn't kill that, but it's killing a big majority of the field, which is really relevant.
All right, the second mode with the 2/1/1 White Warriors at instant speed?
This might be the best mode on the card. A lot of people play a card, Hordling Outburst, and this is essentially better in Outburst in the sense that your 1/1 first strikers are negating out 2 of their tokens while you get to keep them. This could lead to you getting the card advantage of taking out their Hordling Outburst and then untapping, attacking, and playing a Wingmate Rock and triggering the raid, or dropping a Sorin and then taking up the life. The first strike is very relevant on the Warriors, which is something a lot of people overlook. For me, this is just a better Hordling Outburst.
Sure. And it's probably a little better on your mana too, because having double red as opposed to all 3 colors, you're trying to get all 3 colors in this deck anyways.
It's still a little tricky, but I'd rather have the triple one of each than a double red cast cost. You're definitely right, especially since this deck is not terribly focused on the red. A double red card would be hard to support in something like this. But yeah, it's usually never hard to cast, never a problem casting it. And then also, last but not least, you have the duress effect, which, against the Esper deck or any control deck, you have 4 Thought Seizes and 4 duresses, which goes a long way.
And especially duress at instant speed.
Yeah,
has to be grabbing people's cards when they're just playing Dig Through Times.
They'll hold up their Dissolve or whatever on turn 3, end of turn Mardu Charm. You get their counterspell in their hand, or they'll counter the Mardu Charm because I don't want you to see it, and then you untap Outpost Siege or something like that. And then, or stick a Sorin or something, problematic card for a control deck of Planeswalker.
Sure. So we have a very good creature package here. Pretty standard stuff, but obviously efficient. We got 4 Seeker of the Way, 3 Brimaz, 2 Wingmate Rock. So Wingmate Rock hasn't seen a lot of play recently.
No.
How's this card been doing for you?
Very good in this deck. I think because a lot of people don't know about this deck, it's one of the cards that they're least expecting from me. So I'm able to go to a lot of attack steps without people having a notion that this card's even in my deck. Again, like I said with the Mardu Charm, I make 2 1/1s in a turn, and they'll look at me all weird and stuff, and then I'll go to my turn, I'll go to my attack step, and then afterwards they'll cast a Wingmate Rock, and it'll all trigger in their head, and they'll be like, man, I could have killed them or something like that. And
Not many people want to use a Bioblight on your Mardu Charm tokens.
Yeah.
Basically.
the deck isn't, the way it's getting its advantage isn't through drawing cards, but in a card like Wingmate Rock, you're getting 2 3/4s. So if they're killing that like an Abzin deck, they're wasting 2 removal spells. You're getting 2 cards.
So you're getting a lot of virtual card advantage.
Yeah. You're trying to grind them out with your card advantage on your cards instead of keep drawing cards.
So speaking of card advantage, we have a 1 of it in the main deck that's going to be a 2-for-1 pretty much no matter what. We have 1 Culligan's Command.
Yeah.
So Are you returning the creature? Is it just the other discard effect? I mean, how relevant has the destroy target artifact? Like, what part of this card are you really using it for?
I actually haven't drawn it yet this tournament, but I played it at the Open at the Invitational that was in Richmond not too long ago. And the mode I found myself most using was discarding a card on their draw step. Usually there would be really long cards and getting back something like a Wingmake Rocket or a Breemask, which is really, really crazy value. Put them back down to no cards, get back your creature, and then you have priority with the creature to their nothing.
Well, this deck seems pretty sweet in a field full of Esper Dragons. I think you're well positioned. So if you're looking for a deck to beat up on Esper Dragons, I definitely recommend this Mardu midrange deck. Josh, thanks for taking the time to side us in from the sideboard. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Good luck with the rest of your rounds.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Stay tuned for more standard action here in Cleveland.